Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, welcoming you to a new episode of Out of the Park Baseball 19 as the Toronto Blue Jays. Last season was surprisingly quite good with an 86-76 record. So, as per usual, before we begin examining our options for improving the team, let's see what went well and what didn't go so well. Pete Falcone had an amazing season. Granted, for more than half the season he was in Cincinnati, but he was part of the big trade we made, where we traded Jerry Turner for Pete Falcone and a few other interesting pieces that might someday turn out to be useful, and might not. In addition, let's focus on the pitcher stats, shall we? We got an incredible season out of Dave Stewart, a very good season out of Steve Budner, or Scott rather. A good overall pitching staff, anchored by a fairly decent pitcher as well. But really it's Dave Stewart I'd like to dwell on for a moment, because for a reliever to put up this much WAR, it's insane. He was pretty much the perfect closer. And his stamina's back. Oh, the game must have finally accepted the fact that he was a starter. We might put him in the starting rotation. I wonder if they fixed Oral Hershiser. He still has no stamina. That's really weird. Oh well. It could also be the fact we need to get a new scout. So I think before we trust any player ratings, we'll quickly pick up a new scout. So we want a scouting director. We want to see scout ratings. I'm thinking Johnny Schmitz. He does lean towards ability, which means he'll favor polished players, but he's really good at the amateurs, and he's pretty good overall. So I think, and especially because I want a scouting director that'll stick around for a while, I think he's a good hire. Now let's take a look at the GM ratings, because we do need a new assistant GM. General managers, please. Let's narrow that down, shall we? So the important thing to remember about any single GM is that what we care most about is their trading. And I think we want someone that favors rookies. So I think someone like an Ed Lozano would be a good fit as our assistant GM. Right. So let's now take a look at the statistics for our hitting staff. Chili Davis had an amazing season. Played above average offense. On-base percentage could get a little bit better. Strikeouts could get a little more under control. But a good batting average, 274. Plenty of pop, hitting 20 home runs and 20 doubles. And he was a pretty darn good catcher. All things considered, it's hard to look at a player like Chili Davis and ask for much more. Von Hayes put together a very strong first season. Some good base stealing, some good hitting. Played pretty poor third base. That's a problem we're going to have to solve at some point in the near future. Les Fillikins really did well in left field and handled center field with about equal aplomb. Tim Raines was a bit disappointing relative to what we know we could expect from him. But he played pretty decent second base and was overall an acceptable hitter. We'd like to see those power numbers trend up, obviously, but that might take a while. Gene Richards is an interesting problem to have. And I don't know what exactly that problem is and how we're going to resolve it. Willie Wilson is a great example of why you shouldn't become too fussed about batting average. Willie Wilson stole bases. Willie Wilson hit for an okay average. And was such a god-awful right fielder that, yeah, he's kind of a bust. We could also use some upgrades at other areas. Don Mattingly, despite not playing all that much, contributed quite a lot. And I'm looking forward to having him for a full season, especially as power continues to develop. So, all in all, we had a very good lineup, which admittedly we got a bit lucky on. Now it's our turn to make that lineup sing. So let's immediately figure out who's going to be part of the next team and who isn't. I think Mike Smithson is a bit of a lost cause. Larry Hubbard was quite useful. What do you want to stay with it? Oh, God, no. That's going to be our biggest problem. Everyone's going to be, like, drunk on money. Camp. I mean, there's not really a lot of savings to be had. I think Mookie Wilson might have to go. He was productive last year, though. Maybe we can find a way to make him work. Bergnaud, I think, isn't useful anymore. His only tool is drawing walks and playing mediocre first base. And even that, he was barely above replacement level. I think we're going to go ahead and non-tender him. And I think we might do the same with Rick Camp. Yeah, Rick Camp was just so unreservedly awful last year. I'm just going to withdraw his deal. Gene Richards is an interesting decision. I'm going to offer him $250 and see if he takes it. It's still a significant raise. Yeah, he wants that $300 grand. I'm just going to offer him $250 as a team offer and make them choose. He's not going to like that, but there's not much you can do about it either. I think we'll keep everyone else. I would like to keep at least one more of these players, but I think they're all going to want too much money. Roger Alexander, no. Sorry, Hilario, you weren't that hilarious. I do need a new closer. I might try to re-sign Skip and make him... No, if I'm going to do that for a reliever... I'm going to try to cost to bring Carl Morton back. A lot. I think we'll just find new people in free agency and see how that turns out for us. Let's go ahead and sim forward a bit. We got our new scouting director. How does that change things? Yeah, Dave Stewart is a bona fide starter now, which is amazing because I'd forgotten in real life, what was he? See, in real life, up until almost the very end of his career, he really pitched a lot in the bullpen. So we're kind of actually following his major league track record. We do need more pitching, but just having Dave Stewart as a starter is going to seriously improve our team as well. I fully expect Dave Stewart to win that award, by the way, for best relief pitcher. And we got the new GM. Huzzah. Now remember, we were better than 500, so we're going to get a pick that's very much at the back of the first round. I won no awards. Bobby Bonilla, Lenny Dykstra, Cal Ripken, Jose Rio, Devon White, John Kruk, Fred McGriff, Mickey Tettleton, and Paul O'Neill. This is a pretty strong draft class, just based on that. Did I really win no awards? Not even Rookie of the Year? I kind of figured I'd get Rookie of the Year, at least with Vaughn Hayes. He had a pretty crazy year. Gold Gloves, nobody. Dave Stewart got some votes. That's respectable, I guess. Silver Slugger, yeah. Not surprised we didn't win anything. Really, George Bell won. George Bell did have a pretty good season. And Dick Williams, Manager of the Year. Pete Falcone got a handful of votes for Cy Young. MVP goes to Buddy Bell. Anyone from Toronto? One vote for Pete Falcone. It's probably from like Pete Falcone's mom. Let's go ahead and go up to free agency. Ooh. You gave the player what he wanted. I think Gene Richards has to go this year. Which is a shame, but... Alright, so I'd really like to make a couple of moves this year. How much do I have to spend on free agents? Just under $1 million. We'll look at... Oh, good lord, look at these prices. I mean, damn. $1 million for Dwight Evans. $1 million for Tom Bradley. I'm going to make offers on these guys. And we'll also grab Jim Barr. Rod Carew would be an interesting experiment if I didn't already have a second baseman who's basically also Rod Carew. Let's focus on batters now. I'd like to pick up... I could grab Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray would fill a perfect gap in my lineup. And then I can have Dom Mattingly in left or as a center field or as a DH. I'm going to make an offer. I don't know if he'll take it, but... Hell, I'll give you a 4-year deal, mate. That's a lot less money than I think he would have asked for. Normally. 210 for Mike Epstein. He might be a name we come back to if we don't get Eddie Murray. Could just bring Willie Montañez back. But I don't think so. Alright. I think this is a good start in free agency. I don't want to spend too much right away. Because I don't think one player is going to make a difference for us. Let's cast our ballot. Hank Aaron hit 729 home runs in our version of reality. Louis Aparicio, not really. I will vote for Ken Boyer. Jim Brewer, definitely not. Jim Bunning, no. Orlando Cepeda, no. Rocky Colavito, no. Bob Gibson, not as good as real life Bob Gibson, but still pretty damn good. I can vote for that. No Tommy Harper. Frank Howard, meh. Willie McCovey, meh. Just a lot of names here that don't super impress me. Veda Pinson, and I'll vote for Yaz too. Just to try to fill out the ballots a bit. And Toyd Wilhelm. I don't remember, did Bob Gibson win 300 games in real life? We'll have to see. I thought he did, but maybe he didn't. Winter meetings is when some of these players should start making decisions, I expect. Everyone seems more or less okay with my offer, so no one's like bugging me. We'll sum up to the draft. I'm not looking forward to the draft the way I usually do, just because our draft pick is going to be shit. Which means we're going to be getting like a borderline player, not a player that will really form 23. I don't even know if this is a draft that has that much talent in it. Yeah, we'd already be... If we look at, let's look at all players, right? We'd get a player in the 50s or 60s. I think it's fair to say. Let's go ahead and wait until we pick. So it's mostly pitchers, it looks like. There's some interesting lower level selections like Joe Carter. Bob Tewksbury. Come on, where's Bob Tewksbury's screwball? There's not a lot here that's left, unfortunately. I can get Harold Reynolds. What just happened? You really like Dick Schofield. Okay, he's an amazing shortstop. He's a pretty good hitter. OSA thinks he's a bit garbage. We think he's going to be amazing. This would right away give us a major upgrade at a position we've struggled with. Now, OSA, of course, thinks he's not nearly this good offensively. We're probably too sanguine. Here's the thing. Even the chance that he's somewhere in the middle is so tempting, I don't think I can pass it up. There's other interesting players here, too, sure. Not Ozzie Guillen. The downside is we have a really good shortstop. The upside is we have a shortstop who also crushes baseballs. I'm going to take the dive. I'm going to see how this turns out for us. I like the idea of John Cerruti quite a lot, actually. He's very much a work in progress, but he's the exact kind of player we need to be grabbing. Done. Robert Williamson has power and discipline and literally nothing else. I'm not saying that isn't interesting, but it's not something I'm going to jump out and be all over. Are we really already out of pitchers? Yeah, we are. Oh, snap. Check carry might at least be mediocre. Okay, what is with this? Why does everyone think that if someone has really good play discipline, I automatically want them? There's got to be something weird going on here that I'm missing. By the way, you notice I actually can't look at what I like and don't like. That is so weird. That literally every season, it seems like, my scouts always tell me, oh my god, of Indian, this guy draws walks, you want him. Robert Duran has some... Yeah, there's something about our scout that's overvaluing a lot of these players. Who does he think we should take? Robert Williamson. I don't think he's worth it, but I'll take him because I don't want the scouting director to feel bad. There's a reason why guys we consider top guys just keep lasting and lasting. I'll take a flyer on Pat Bone. If nothing else, his name is hilarious. Let's now look at all players. Pitching potential. Who's got really good stuff? Michael Villegas. I'll draft you. I'll take a flyer on Wesley Smith, too. It literally cost me nothing. Batting potential. Good contact. Randy Washington has to be impossible when it comes to... No? I think this is just a scenario where we see something in him that the AI doesn't. I'm willing to take that shot. Oh, right. I haven't picked yet. Now I can take him. And we'll take Al here. And I think that's good enough for now. I'm not going to invest too much more time into the draft. Schofield is real interesting. I don't even have to give him a mandatory Major League contract, which is fantastic news. Yeah, I'm just going to offer all the people all the things. All right. Rule 5 draft. Got to stop. Got to think about who's eligible for the draft. Okay, George Frazier has probably earned at least a chance in the bullpen. So you can be on the 40-man. Bobby Castillo might someday throw strikes, which in this system I can't afford to give up on. Joseph Stewart draws walks and nothing else. But again, he might end up making the team, actually. Alman can go, Mitchell can go. Nothing else there that does it for me. There we go. And we picked up a couple players, and we got Eddie Murphy. It's a nice little injection of talent we got here. And we're going to talk about the Rule 5 draft here and try to grab some kind of talent there too. But I guarantee you, we'll just go ahead and skip to my pick so I don't like start looking at players and get excited that they might be helpful. I could pick up Tug McGraw. I could bring him back. There's literally nothing here. I could get Jesus Alfaro. A proper right fielder would be a nice little pickup for us. And he's got enough batting tools. Yeah, I'm going to grab Gene the Gentile here. Dumb. Oh, that reminds me. Somebody pointed out there was... Where was it? FA type. Yes, this tells you if someone has... We'll just call this the same thing. That'll tell us if someone needs a draft pick in order to sign him. Alright. Pitching ratings. Who's got really amazing stuff? Any of these really good stuff guys have control of any measure? Nope. I could grab like Britain maybe. He's kind of the best of a bad lot, but no. I think we go ahead and finish the draft. And then, who else do we have in free agency that's left? Charlie Huff for 220 grand is an absolute bloody steal. I'll give you 2 years. If Hank Aaron isn't elected in the first ballot, I don't know what it's going to take. Fans are kind of down that we lost Larry Hubbard. I had no idea Larry Hubbard was the key to Toronto's success, but I guess he was. Almost unanimous. So how good was Bob Gibson in real life? He won 251 games, so our version wasn't quite as good, but was actually arguably more dominant. So, a real good egg, that Bob Gibson fellow. And I'm not going to get a compensation pick. That's fine. Skip Lockwood going makes players sad. Oh, we got Charlie Huff. So, overall, that's an upgrade in my opinion. We're going to go through player by player and determine who's better suited for the bullpen. We actually have a respectable rotation now, which is kind of scary if you think about it. Oh, really? We still think Dick Schofield's pretty solid. I'll put him on the spring training roster, and we'll see how he handles it. Or maybe I just don't rush him. Maybe I give him a year. Because I still have Mike Champion for another year. And Mike Champion's a pretty okay shortstop. He's not brilliant, mind you, but he's pretty okay. He bumped my budget a bit. So let's take a quick look at players who are going to start hitting arbitration and start make some hard choices. Raines is going to hit, and so is Chili Davis. This is where our payroll goes up. How much do we actually have for extensions? We've got about $1 million, so I can make this work. All right. So let's talk to Tim Raines first. I'm gonna add a couple. I'm gonna add like 20 grand each year and see how this flies with him. Oh no, he doesn't want a long-term contract. He's a little too smart for that. How about 100? Oh, he's peeved at me now. 125? No, not 12.5 million. Yeah, I kind of pissed him off. I was hoping he would take maybe a bit of a pay cut. What about Chili Davis? Would you take a 4-year deal? No. What about a 3-year deal? No. I'm going to go and offer you 135. No, 150? You'll take 150. It's a reasonable savings. Tim Raines just told me to go screw myself. What about Falcone? Falcone wants a mega bucks deal. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but I'm saying spending... That would still leave us with a load of money for extensions. Do we open up the checkbook? If I can get him to shave off a little bit of cash, so it's like this, I will do this. Alright. Because we do need a good pitcher to anchor the rotation. I also want to make sure we re-sign Dave Stewart. Ooh. How about we just take that 1-year deal, mate? Oh, wow. He wants all the money. Yeah, I'm gonna wait and talk to you in arbitration. That's insane. I'm not coughing up 500 grand for a player who hasn't even played, started a game yet for us. We don't have Mattingly to worry about for a bit. What does Gene Richards want? No, he's not that kind of player. I am immediately going to place Gene Richards on the trading block. Because I have no intention of keeping him. No. You're just mad I grabbed, Well, fans are pretty happy about locking up Chili Davis for another year. Oh, we got Pete Falcone locked in a bit. It kind of hurts it with Tim Raines, though. I don't know what I'm going to do about Dave Stewart wanting 500 grand a year. He might be worth it, but I'm not going to do it right now. Alright. So, Mr. Schofield, you're going to get a spring training invitation. Tom Bernansky, sure. You can have one. Other than that, there's nothing really here I'm seeing that screams to me, give this man a shot in the majors. It's 40 players, which is quite fair, actually. Do I want him playing left? He is actually a better left fielder than right fielder. Oh, but then what do we do with Don Mattingly? No, Don Mattingly moves to left. Gentile moves to right. What kind of offer would I get for Gene Richards right now? It's really about people want to shed payroll. Danny Heap is reasonable. What else are we getting offered? I could bring Larry Hubbard back. No, not at that cost. Once the Cubs ate most of his salary. I want you to keep his entire salary. Ah, you actually couldn't afford that. Nah, it's not worth it. I might revisit it if we're, like, desperately in need of bullpen help. I'll let the bench coach set stuff up. All of a sudden, we have an extremely respectable starting rotation. Oh, Dave Stewart's going to cost us so much money. But a bona fide ace is such a rare thing that if anyone deserves it, it might be Dave Stewart. I just don't know how much I trust giving a player of his quality that much money. Because that's almost half of our extension. Like, how do the fans actually think of me right now? The fan loyalty is still poor. That'll change, I think. I think we just need to work our asses off. And show them that we've got player development. I'm really interested in one name. Oh, Pete Falcone getting better is a nice surprise. Dick Schofield. His power got better. Mattingly slightly worse. Okay. Let's sim ahead one more week, and the next episode we'll start breaking this down. Charlie Huff won't be ready for opening day. I guess that's not the worst news. But it's not great news either. So, I have no idea what to expect for this coming season. We've acquired a starter kind of by accident because the game where it's like, hey, wait a minute, maybe we should try this Dave Stewart guy in the rotation. So that's a thing. We added some bullpen help. We got Eddie Murray, which will make Aaron Sheelan really happy, especially since I didn't actually trade any players for him. I got him for basically a decent amount of money. We have some interesting decisions to make, and I'll be making those next episode. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about the future of Dick Schofield, for example. I'm tempted to give him a shot at opening day. But until next time, this has been Avindian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.